Hello, my name is Lola, and I'm going to be reacting to Spider-Man 3 by Nostalgia Critic. This was recommended to me by Surreal Moore. Thank you for the recommendation. Um, yeah, this is the... Oh, boy. I mean, it's not the worst Spider-Man movie ever. It's not even really that bad, but it's just... I don't know, man. Like, it just becomes like a mess. Well, with all the villains in there in this, and Raimi has said that even he like wishes he can go back and like fix this. Like he, it wasn't his idea to put Venom in this. It was actually, I think, the producers or the executive producers. Somebody told him, "Oh, you got to put Venom in this." He didn't want to. He wanted to save Venom for the next movie. Um, but he gave in. He did it. And well, there's no Spider-Man 4. Yeah. So, yeah. But honestly, I still like the movie, even with its parts, yeah. And of course, one of the problems that people have with it was that there were too many villains, but but they didn't have that problem with Spider-Man No Way Home. You know, you got all the past villains from the Raimi movies, the Mark Webb movies, and it's like, man, people love that movie. Like, but I don't know, like No Way Home, it was like more better planned. It was more better mapped out. This one is just a mess, but still a fun mess nonetheless. Anyway, yeah, just check this out. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe my channel, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Also, I have a BG account where you can see my reaction to episodes of Nostalgia Critic, one of Angry Video Game Nerd that I could not put on here, like it's Earthbound. If you want to check that out, there'll be a link in the description. Anyway, here we go.
This episode brought to you by Stamps.com. Why go to the store to get stamps when you can have them printed right at home for your convenience?
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, still found nothing that rhymes with man. Maybe we should change the name. Cliff sound good? Yeah, let's go with Cliff. Look out! Here comes Cliff.
Cliff.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember, so you don't have to. The internet has come a long way, hasn't it? The sharing of information, entertainment, and opinions has connected the world unlike anything else in history. True, early on, people were divisive, angry, and unsure how to accept something they weren't familiar with, but as time went on, that changed. The internet is now more open, more understanding, and will share their point of view instead of shoving it down people's throats. Nah, just kidding. We're more divisive than ever.
As the human representation of the internet, it's my job to say you're wrong. You're all wrong.
I just thought...
Is it my thought?
I don't know.
You should know my thoughts and agree with them. Get out of here.
Sir, someone said something.
Give an extreme reaction to it.
But you don't know what it is yet.
Do I?
Do you?
Wow, that's deep. Bob!
Right here?
Oh, right. My next blog post. I said something deep. Let it change your life.
What did you say?
Doesn't matter.
Guess not.
Get out of here. Critic, sit down.
There's no place to...
Liz, sit down for the critic.
Yes, sir.
I understand you're going to review Spider-Man 3.
Oh, yes, that's right, Mr. Internet.
It's a menace.
Well, it's definitely a mess, but...
It's the worst thing ever made. It robbed a bank, kicked a puppy, and pissed on my leg.
A movie can do all that?
If I said it, it must be true.
I mean, there's some good things in it. I don't want to lie about my opinion.
What are you? One of them?
Who?
I don't know.
Your silence only makes you look more guilty.
Get out of here! I can handle this. Your silence only makes you look more guilty, but you can fix that. Give me reviews of Spider-Man 3 terrorizing the city.
That doesn't make any sense.
Troll!
What?
Your desk is uneven.
Liz, get him a coffee while you're down there.
How?
Don't make this political.
How is that?
Go!
Look, I have to tell people what I really think. I'm sorry I didn't get your written script about what my opinion is.
I know, that's why I brought you an extra copy. Make sure Spider-Man 3 looks like the worst thing ever created by human beings or you're fired.
I'm fired?
That wasn't the intent, but sure.
Look, in such a vibrant, colorful field, do you think it's right to be so black and white?
The internet is colorblind. Now you hate Spider-Man 3 like everyone else. Now take your coffee and get out.
How did
Get out of here! Let's clean that up.
Okay, here's my opinion. It may not be popular, but it's honest. I think there's something of value in every Spider-Man movie.
Burn him!
No matter how good or how bad, every Spider-Man movie gave me something that made me glad I watched it. I know that doesn't match the internet's all-in mentality of you either have to 100% hate something or love something. But maybe the idea of Spider-Man is so good that it always has something strong sewn into it. And even though the internet says I'm supposed to hate everything about it, I do find some value in Spider-Man 3. A Spider-Man movie so despised, even its director has called it awful. Spider-Man 3 made a bundle at the box office, but didn't win over as many fans and audiences as it would have liked. Though Rotten Tomatoes technically has a positive critical rating, and even audience reaction is half and half, the people that hated Spider-Man 3 loathed it as one of the worst comic book movies ever made, when compared to its predecessors, which pushed comic book movies forward in a unique way and took its time evolving the characters, for the most part. 3 did seem like a step backwards. It crammed in too much story, too many characters, and you thought the other movies were zany? This has a musical number, baby! Objectifiably.
I think you mean objectively?
No, I think you're wrong, J. Jonas. It is one of the worst sequels by comparison. But, like the rest of the films, it went all out. Honestly, too all out. Creating something that, in my opinion, was still unique and entertaining. Like the other films, I do still have a soft spot for it and think the good moments aren't represented enough. So we're gonna take a look at what worked, what didn't work, and what really didn't work. But also what worked. So long as the internet's okay with me having an opinion that's different from the rest, I better lock the door.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Spider-Man 3. The film opens, ironically, with everybody loving Spider-Man. He's seen as a hero, Peter's praised in his class, except with people over 40, and his girlfriend Mary Jane even got a starring role in a Broadway play.
So they say.
It's my girlfriend.
Mine too. Wait, what? The
What?
hiccup is Harry might become a vengeful insane maniac, but aside from that, things are good.
I need to talk to you. Explain things.
Tell it to my father. Raise him from the dead.
Hey, I know the devil. I can make that happen.
Was I good?
Good. You were great.
And those are from Harry. What's with you guys anyway?
It's complicated.
Tell me again. Was I really good?
I mean, I know my husband's connection to the son of the Green Goblin should probably be in focus, but tell me, was I good? While hanging out on the web, a meteor with a mysterious black goo on it lands next to them. That shouldn't really be explained in a passing tone, but that's what the movie does, so I'm just gonna give it the possessed hand sound effect from Evil Dead 2 and move on. Meanwhile,
Nice.
police are in very slow pursuit of escaped convict Flint Marko, perfectly cast with Thomas Hayden Church. The crime he committed was apparently out of love for his daughter, who's very ill and needs money for surgery. Honestly, this is one of the more adult scenes in any of the Raimi films.
I'm just here to see my daughter.
You're not getting near her.
Good reason for what I was doing, and that's the truth.
That is the truth that you left behind.
Honestly, yeah, Thomas Hayden Church, man, he was really good in this. He deserves an award for this. Honestly, he was so good, man. Like, you just related to him as a character, man. Like, it's like, what would you do, you know? If, like, you had a child and she or he was dying, it's like, man, you would do anything. Even, you know, like, break the law if you had to save them, you know?
You know, not literally every second of this film is bad.
Yeah.
Wrong!
Peter confesses to Aunt May that he's gonna ask MJ to marry him. In the timescale of things, this does seem a bit fast, as it doesn't look like they've been going out for very long. I mean, him and Harry haven't talked yet, so not that much time must have passed. But hey, if she said yes to a guy who got 2 minutes of screen time, surely she'll say yes here.
The day your Uncle Ben asked me to marry him, he was so scared and excited and very young.
Why do I feel like every scene of hers should start with Titanic was called the Ship of Dreams?
Your uncle had it all planned. He took me to the beach one Sunday, and then he said, "Close your eyes, May." And I did.
And then he whipped it out.
Aunt May!
They didn't call him Ben 10 inches for nothing.
Ugh.
Oh, hi, Harry. Harry reveals himself as New Goblin. No, really, that's what he's credited as. And ironically, where the original Goblin costume looked too silly, this one looks too boring. He looks like a snowboarding St. Patrick's Day shredder. I feel like you could have done more with this.
You knew this was coming, Pete.
Now, the effects in this film have gotten a lot of flack over the years, but do you even first movie, bro? There are occasional shots here and there where the camera tracking does make them look especially cartoony, but the majority of them, for the time especially, I think are ambitious and creatively thought out. Like in 2, they don't always look real, but they look cool. Even if some of them, I swear, must have been going for a laugh.
Oh, here it comes.
Harry?
And Peter never saw Harry's corpse again. Off you go, Peter. No, he takes Harry to the hospital, which must have been fun to explain. Yeah, he was rocket surfing down an alleyway in his weaponized armor, and then Deadpool hit him. But not far away, Flint runs away from the police into, you guessed it, another science experiment. I do love how these films get more and more lazy with how their villains transform.
There's a change in the silicon mass.
Yeah, it's probably a bird. It'll fly away when we fire it up.
Pretty big bird.
Yeah, it's probably 20 birds stacked on top of each other to form human shape.
Yeah, you're right. We're scientists. Variables don't matter to us.
Honestly, that part where Peter has the weapon, he's holding it, and Harry hits it and knocks out. Me and my dad were in the theater, and oh my god, we bust out laughing to that part. Like, oh my god, we freaking laughed out loud, man. It was so funny. It was so messed up.
As always, we're shown on a molecular level the changes that take place as like sands in the hourglass, and you know. No! I'm gonna be coarse, rough, and get everywhere! So, wouldn't you know it, Harry happens to get amnesia and doesn't remember a thing. And I'm not gonna lie, his dopey, happy-go-lucky performance is one of my favorite things in the movie.
Hit my head.
I got here as fast as I could.
I know that face.
Great.
You have lovely friends.
My best friends.
I don't have a care in the world. It's like I'm hosting the Oscars again.
Damn, dude.
This brings us to yet another scene that is one of the best in any of the Spider-Mans. The Sandman coming to life is right out of a poetic monster movie. So many of the emotional scenes in these films rely on speeches that usually go on too long, but here, no dialogue, no over-explaining, just a person trying to emotionally and physically pull himself back together. The effects are beautiful, the music touching, the imagery almost haunting in how simple yet imaginative it is. It's like an artistically fascinating short film snuck its way into this superhero movie. It's one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite moment, as there's no other scenes like this in any of the previous films.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
Just say I'm wrong.
Really, you're making me look at things from a different point of view.
Just say I'm
No,
wrong.
honestly, I'm gonna look deep
Just say
inside
I'm
my
wrong.
soul
Just say
and
I'm wrong.
you know
Just
what?
say
Maybe
I'm wrong.
jumping to
Just say I'm
conclusions too
wrong.
much. Maybe
Just
I'm
say
too
I'm
loud.
wrong.
Maybe I'm too
Just say I'm wrong.
wrong.
Mary Jane returns with negative reviews of the film, I mean of her performance, as she's looking for emotional support from Peter, but another crime for Spider-Man interrupts.
Go get him, Tiger. Sorry.
I have to also give credit, this is the first time I actually find Peter and Mary Jane's relationship interesting, as they finally acknowledge it's not a healthy relationship. Yeah, you know all those jokes I made before about how it's all based on lies and secrets and being emotionally immature? Well, here, it catches up with them. And I don't think that's something they just made up on the spot. I think they were kind of planning that from the beginning, as look at Mary Jane's face at the end of 2. They must have known at some point they were gonna have to address relationship issues. And here, that's finally what they're doing. As things are finally going Peter's way, Mary Jane becomes the film's new punching bag. And he's not there to help her because he's too busy with Spider-Man stuff.
Spider-Man gets attacked all the time.
This isn't about you. I look at these words, and it's like my father wrote them.
All cars in the vicinity of...
She tries to understand, but the same way romantic angst was building with Peter, now it's building with her.
Know that you made a mistake and that you feel guilty, but I want to be here for you.
Okay. I get it. Thank you.
It might be the only time in these movies they talk about a relationship like an actual relationship. But you know, that dance! So you can't be affected by any of this. Okay, to the credit of this film's criticism, all of this would be fine and elevate the series to a new level if that's all they focused on. And it's not. There's another girl entering the picture named Gwen Stacy, played by Bryce Dallas Howard. She's the daughter of the police captain, played by James Cromwell, going out with Topher Grace, played by Topher Grace, who's a photographer trying to take over Parker's job. She's also a model who doesn't know when to move out of the way of a crane. Spider-Woman in another universe, everybody. And all of this is revealed in literally 1 minute.
It's Gwen.
Who are you?
It's Brock, sir. I work at the Daily Bugle. And I'm dating your daughter.
That's a mighty fine exposition there.
And I'm dating your daughter.
Have I also told you about my son, the astronaut? Spider-Man saves her and becomes such a big hero that Gwen puts together an event to offer him the key to the city.
And
I
there he
guess
is.
one person can make a difference.
Enough said.
Enough said.
May sound corny now, but when I'm dead, you're gonna cry. Meanwhile, Harry is still, gosh darn, in the greatest of moods.
Hey, do I have any girlfriends? I don't know.
Where do babies come from? God, I'm high.
I always appreciated how you helped me through high school. Just wish I could remember more about him.
This picture makes him seem like a nice guy, who's secretly a blacklight image from the Haunted Mansion. The next day, cops spot Flint and track him down to a sand truck. I hope you have superpowers or else I'm about to murder you. Oh, that's lucky. Yeah, I'm not sure why when he's bigger, his vocabulary switches to rawr. Maybe he saw a hot woman and had to try his flirting cat sounds.
Waiter!
Oh, great. Now I have sand in my shoe.
My cotton candy tastes like pink.
Hey, MJ. Hey, Pete said you're in a play.
I was let go.
No, this is embarrassing, but I once wrote you a play in high school.
You wrote me a play?
Yeah.
It was called Princess Pretty Pretty and the Pretty 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 by Harry Me. Gwen somehow knows exactly where to point to introduce the web slinger as the crowd encourages him to kiss her.
Go ahead, lay one on me. They'll love it.
Yeah, that was really messed up.
What? Now this gets tricky as Peter knows MJ is in the crowd, so this just kind of comes across as douchey.
Yeah.
I think what they're hinting at is Peter is so confident and knows so little about relationships.
Day by day, he gazed upon her. Day by day, he...
Clearly. That he didn't put together this would hurt her, especially seeing their love is so strong that he's about to propose to her. I guess that's possible, but Christ, does that seem douchey?
Yeah.
Like, can even he be that dumb? I mean, Mary Jane was only with 2 other men when she gave that kiss, and one of them was you. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad they're showing this is not the best couple.
Oh.
Sandman tries robbing a bank, and in yet another pretty cool fight scene, Spider-Man stops him, but he gets away.
Where do all these guys come from?
And more importantly, can they be memed more than me on the internet?
Obviously, no. Well, with how many Tobey Maguire memes are out there, especially the infamous Bully Maguire, which is freaking everywhere. Like, literally everywhere. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you a heads up. The script for this week's sponsorship from Stamps.com was written long before any recent developments have been happening, and they usually ask me to put my own spin on it, but I feel like I should just read it as it's written, and I'm just going to read it as it's written. So without further ado, the sponsorship for Stamps.com. Don't you wish you were at the post office right now? Me neither. Running a business or keeping up with your schedule takes a lot, and sometimes there just aren't enough hours in the day. You've got better and more important things to do. That's why you need Stamps.com. Anything you can do at the post office, you can do at Stamps.com. Their on-demand postage means you can skip that trip to the post office. Plus, you can save money with discounts that you can't even get at the post office. Stamps.com brings all the services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer. You're probably gonna be using that even more. Whether you're a small service sending invoices, an online seller shipping out products, or even a warehouse sending thousands of packages a day, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. Simply use your computer to print official US postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Once your mail is ready, just hand it to your mail carrier. Or drop it in a mailbox. It's that simple. Time isn't the only thing you'll be saving. With Stamps.com, you can get 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off shipping rates. Not to mention it's a fraction of the cost of those expensive postage meters, and there's no equipment to lease and no long-term commitments. Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving you time and money. Maybe a few other things. It's no wonder over 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com. And right now my viewers get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in nostalgia. That's Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in nostalgia. So, if you don't like going to the post office, which I'm really willing to bet you don't right now, Stamps.com is the site for you. Stamps.com. Quick, easy, and safe. I can't emphasize that last one enough. Check out the special offer today. Gets ready to propose at a fancy restaurant where Bruce Campbell plays the maitre d'.
Becker.
Parker.
That is what I said. Becker.
I always imagined this was the same guy from every film. He just keeps losing jobs and put on an incredibly fake French accent to get this one. He even at one point just randomly says, I'm French.
Romance. I am French.
Unless you see IRS, in which case I am Russian from Moscow. Mary Jane arrives, but so does Gwen, who also happens to be in Peter's class. Now how could this go wrong?
Pete, if you've got a picture of my kiss with Spider-Man, after all, who gets kissed by Spider-Man, right? I can't imagine.
Oh, God.
I don't feel very well. I'm sorry, I have to go.
MJ walks out saying Peter just doesn't understand her, which I think is fair. As subplot 122 is introduced, the police say Flint Marco is the real killer of Uncle Ben.
What are you doing?
You ever saunter with the spiders in the sandbox of life?
No,
you might be wondering, why weren't they told about this?
Why weren't we told about this?
Settle down, son.
No, I have no intention of settling.
Hey, he said settle down! I think that explains everything.
How cool would it have been if they actually got Ron Howard to play Gwen Stacy's dad? Because in real life, Ron Howard, he is Bryce Dallas Howard's real dad. And in case you don't know, before Ron Howard got into directing, he was an actual actor, you know. He played Opie in the Andy Griffin show, and he was also in Happy Days.
Yeah, this is when the movie starts to spiral out of control. Not only is there now another killer of Uncle Ben, great, we get to go back to that, but the black goo from the meteor clings onto Peter, thus starting one of my favorite storylines from the comic, the Alien Costume Saga. Now there, it's a long process of the suit slowly corrupting him, balancing difficult choices with dark imagery. Something you would think the director of Evil Dead and A Simple Plan could do in his sleep. But weirdly, it's done like... Well, we've compared these to the Superman movies before, so let's do it again. It's done like Superman 3. He acts mean, but it's almost played more for laughs. You see, at first, it looks like it might work with Peter killing Flint with water in a fight that hasn't aged that great. But at least has the heightened vengeance down from the suit.
Good riddance.
After that, though, it's the start of... Emo Peter.
Yeah.
Emo Peter is awful.
Yeah,
You're right!
Of course I am!
Yeah, he gets it.
Don't
We all
wrong,
get it.
Emo Peter is hilarious. Covering his hair over his eye, wearing all black, trying to act cool when a teen who sees himself as Rick when really he's a Morty acts cool. It's funny, but when you think of the movie we could be getting, the one the posters were promising, it is a letdown.
Give me rent.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door!
And you, your cakes suck! Peter tells Aunt May Spider-Man killed Flint. I guess clarifying she didn't figure out he was Spider-Man from the last film. Though honestly, I'd like to think she did, and this is just her secret backhanded way of teaching him a lesson.
Spider-Man killed him.
Spider-Man? Spider-Man doesn't kill people.
I think if Spider-Man were here, I'd call him a psychopath. Well, if Spider-Man were here, he'd probably call you too soft. I think Spider-Man needs Jesus. I think Spider-Man's telling you to shut the hell up. I think Spider-Man's very rude. Yeah, Spider-Man's a dick. Meanwhile, Mary Jane is still feeling isolated, so she reaches out to someone who will understand.
Yep, Harry.
This is even better than quilt sewing. Oh boy, the phone! I hope it's cotton candy delivery.
Hello?
MJ comes over to Harry's to do some swing omelet cooking. My God, even Mickey Mouse would look at you saying, "Damn, you all need to get laid." As MJ puts the moves on him, instantly regretting it.
I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's okay.
Mary Jane, please.
I'm sorry.
Would it help if we kissed upside down in the shower? My butler can help. Wouldn't you know it, Harry gets his memory back and remembers he wants revenge. Thus begins the part of the movie I easily hate the most, and yes, I am aware that's saying quite a bit. Harry forcing MJ to break up with Peter.
It's over. No. Please. Please don't say that.
Couple things. One, there's a million ways out of this. Just go up to Peter and tell him, Harry's over there. He wants me to break up with you. Whip a statue at him. Second, it just made me realize, why did they have Harry have amnesia at all? Wouldn't it make more sense if it was written he acted like everything was good and slowly worked his way into breaking Peter and MJ up? It'd make him a more diabolical villain and it wouldn't waste any time. Third, this is the first time I've actually given a shit about Peter and MJ's relationship because they actually gave them relatable problems. It was more than just romantic one-liners and will they won't they cliches. Now it's just a third party forcing them to hate each other. It's not relatable and it's unbelievably forced. Even when Harry meets up with Peter, he doesn't seem that bummed. Who would be after this romance takes such a stupid turn?
Harry, I was gonna propose to her.
Anyway, how is your sex life?
How does that always keep happening?
I'm the other guy.
How's the pie?
So good.
That look you give when you got away with giving a troll performance for half the movie.
Yeah, I love that guy.
That dude has a look like. Did that weirdo just get up and run behind the wall when that truck passed? I gotta stop going to coffee shops with needles on the floor. So Peter pulls out his secret weapon. He goes to Harry's home where he confronts him.
And when she kissed me, that taste. Strawberries.
Ew.
Peter starts fighting him as Harry reveals he found Dad's secret stash. Good news, I have amnesia again.
You gonna kill me like you killed my father?
You were an embarrassment to him. Oh. Gonna cry?
Hypocrite. Parker blows Harry's face up and discovers the next day Eddie Brock has sent fake pictures to the Daily Bugle.
My son taught the world of this guy.
I have a 9-year-old daughter who loves Spider-Man. Who's she supposed to look up to now?
I mean, the first couple of times we hated him and wanted him arrested, but the 27th time, that's too many. Peter goes to the Bugle to confront Brock, who I have to admit is kind of growing on me. Not as an authentic Eddie Brock, but more as a bizarro Peter. He's like if Peter was wormy and had no ethics. So, Spider-Man 3 Peter, the more I think about it.
Tell him to check his source next time.
It's a fake. Photographic department confirms it.
Yeah, you really needed to circle those to prove it's a fake. Gee, why don't you show me how this wasn't the largest inauguration either? Peter does his infamous strut, which again, might be funny in the same way a dork tries to act cool, but do people like him or not? In one scene, they're repulsed by him, but in another, they're all over him. It just keeps going back and forth, so even the movie doesn't have an idea of what we're supposed to think of him.
That wasn't cool. I have some nuts. I could make some.
Go make me some.
Peter even starts dating Gwen and takes her to the jazz club where MJ works.
Find us some shade.
Mr. Washington says there's a table ready.
Well, Mr. Washington better know cloning because he needs 49 more Washingtons for me to do shit.
Isn't that your old girlfriend?
Mary Jane, show us what you got.
MJ gets up to sing and...
All right, here we go. Now,
yeah,
the real
here
show's
we
about
go.
to start here, Mary. You want some man? That's good, man. That's really good. Oh, man.
What are you doing?
You know what we're doing.
You're trying to be nice to this movie? Well, let's see you be nice to this.
Let's see you dance your way out of this one.
Oh, I see what you did there. That was good. That was good.
You'll never make it.
You'll never make it.
All right, let's talk about the dance number.
Double tap.
It's every bit as insane as you remember it. I guess to the trilogy's credit, this does almost seem like the next logical step. I mean, we went from wrestling to poetry reading to talking arms. Why wouldn't there be a dance number by this point? And let's also be honest, the scene is meant to be funny, and it's fucking hilarious.
Now take all this.
It's like Arnold from Batman and Robin. I don't know what way it was supposed to make me laugh, but it is definitely making me laugh. Let's also give credit to hands down the best performances in the movie. Not Kirsten Dunst, not Thomas Hayden Church, but the black people who have to act like they're digging this. Oh yeah, Tobey Maguire and Bryce Dallas Howard dancing to jazz? There has never been a whiter thing said in the history of mankind, and we love it. Give every black person in this scene an Oscar, because they fucking deserve it. But honestly, the goofiness of this scene I could handle, as I've kind of gotten used to it in these movies. It's just that we could be spending this time really diving into the duality of Peter and the alien suit. In the comic, there's a dream sequence. It's one of the most iconic in all of Spider-Man history. With Sam Raimi's dark visual style, this could be absolutely amazing. But instead, it's replaced with Peter's nipples blowing air on his date.
It's hard to believe what's happening.
That was satisfying.
Was it good for you, Internet?
Nothing's ever good for me.
There have been better scenes.
Sure, after you saw the worst.
That was all for her?
I thought you took me to your ex-girlfriend's job so we could get coupons. You know, for a science major, I'm pretty dumb. Peter gets in a fight with Mary Jane, even ending up hitting her, which finally makes him realize the suit has pushed him too far. Did you really think when you saw this scene on the poster, this would be the scene that leads up to it? This guy knows how Christianity works.
I come before you today to ask you for one thing. I want you to kill Peter Parker.
Yes, as Jesus said in the Bible, do unto others. You want me to kill a guy? I'll fucking kill a guy.
What?
Peter uses the bell to get the suit off of him, causing it to fall onto Brock, transforming him into Venom. He so happens to bump into the Sandman. Yeah, New York is a pretty small city. And they both vow revenge on Spider-Man.
I want to kill the spider. You want to kill the spider. Interested?
While the recent Venom movie certainly looks more like the comic, this one actually does look pretty good, incorporating the spider suit texture into the skin and coming across as genuinely intimidating. Honestly, given a lot of other things we've seen in this movie, I kinda thought this would be a lot worse. Hey, I forget, how do all these movies end again?
A young woman held hostage in a taxi.
The hostage has been identified as Mary Jane Watson.
Shouldn't the news caption read,
"Yep, this bitch again"?
We're now going to take you live to the scene with Jennifer Dugan.
We were gonna let April O'Neil and Lois Lane report on this story, but they're kidnapped with her in the car too. Harry discovers from his butler what really should have been told to save tons of lives when you add everything up.
The night your father died, there's no question that he died by his own hand.
Why do old people keep really important shit from young people in these movies?
I loved your father as I have loved you, Harry.
Enough to allow you to ruin your life on several occasions. You're like a weekend father who doesn't show up on weekends.
As your friends love you.
Anyway, I'll go fire myself.
No unemployment checks.
I figured.
I have to admit, the film really does get back to its cornball sappiness these movies are best known for, as Spider-Man comes to save the day, first posing by an American flag, and giving these extras more cheese to chew on than a Velveeta factory.
He seems to have come out of nowhere to answer the prayers of the city, just when all hope seemed to be lost.
I'm Mary Benign, and I'm ending this report on a slow, inspiring headshake.
He finds he can't fight off evil Pac-Man and Sand Shrek alone, so Harry finally arrives to help. Harry sacrifices himself to save Peter, as Peter finally figures out how to blow up the alien suit and Topher Grace's career.
I'll be back when Spike Lee wants to cast a douche as a Klansman!
It's okay, though. The Sandman is really sorry.
I told your uncle all I wanted was the car.
What is it? I need your car.
Peter finds out the killing of Uncle Ben was at least done in the nicest way possible and finds it in his heart to forgive him.
The only thing left to me now is my daughter. I forgive you.
I'm not asking for forgiveness, I'm asking for money. My daughter still needs an operation.
Yeah, man. There he goes.
Well, I'm off to rob another bank. Hopefully my kid lives. This was an odd way to wrap things up for me. Remember to watch Wings? Harry dies as they go to, their 5th visit to the graveyard? You know, you do 6 funerals and the 7th is free. And Peter visits Mary Jane once more at her job. Sorry, but I'm getting married.
Seriously?
Yeah, another astronaut too. And that was Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, tell us that was actually a good movie.
It was way too much and totally insane, even as these movies go, but I can't act like I wasn't entertained. Maybe because I already didn't take these films that seriously, I just didn't feel as betrayed as everyone else did. I like the majority of the action, it always kept my attention, and the stuff that works I think is some of the best in 3 movies. But when it doesn't work, it's some of the worst. And weirdly, sometimes the best moments and worst moments are one and the same. Sandman is a great character, except when he eventually isn't. The main relationship is well handled, except when it eventually isn't.
Yeah.
The effects are really good, except when they eventually aren't. I feel like all they needed to focus on were 2 of these storylines, like maybe the black suit and the romance, similar to what they did in 2, focusing on Peter's personal life and Doc Ock. But they tried too many things, leaving too many missed opportunities, because they couldn't squeeze it all in. But when I saw this movie, audiences gasped 3 times. And no, it wasn't at that moment. Once when the ring was almost lost, another when Harry and MJ kissed, and the final when Peter hit her. Any film that got a crowd invested enough to gasp 3 times is doing something right. But yeah, I can't ignore the bad stuff. It is way too much being juggled, causing motivations to not always make sense, and sometimes even the characters coming across as unlikable. So I guess it depends. If you're looking for some of the best scenes in the Spider-Man movies, there's certainly some here. But if you're looking for the best Spider-Man movie, you are definitely far from home. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and next week we'll move on to less divisive Spider-Man movies, the Mark Webb films. Why is that funny?
Oh, no.
I am French.
I am French. Stupid. Yeah. This movie. Yeah, like he said, it's not the worst superhero movie. There's some that have come out earlier and that are way, way worse compared to this. Have you seen Steel? Like, seriously? Or Green Lantern? Or Daredevil? Like, seriously? And I'm not talking about the Netflix series. I'm talking about the movie that came out before. Like, yeah, of course, there are some good things in this, like any scene that has Thomas Hayden Church in it. Like, he's really good. Like I said, dude deserves an award for being in this. But the relationship between Peter and MJ in this gets a little bit complicated. It's like they're on and off again, which is why I think the MCU MJ and Peter are way better. Honestly, their relationship in that is way, way better compared to this one and this. But even for its faults, I would still watch it. As a kid, I remember seeing this in the theaters and thought it was okay. I thought that it was good. But, years later when I saw it again, there were some parts where I was just like, ugh, that does not age well. Like the effects and Peter's dance. I was like, oh God. But it's it's still got other moments in there that are, they're still really good. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's my reaction to Spider-Man 3 by Nostalgia Critic. Everyone, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.